Hi Scorpio, welcome to your closer look reading for money. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life also. This could resonate with yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. Alright, Scorpio, what do we got here? Oh, you feel giggly. Okay. Okay, downright jovial. Some of you are like, no, that's a stretch. But strength, okay. Could be Leo. All right, are you feeling good about a situation here? I'd say so. 10 of Pentacles. Nice. The Wheel, another 10. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. You two of High Priestess, Pisces or Cancerian. And the Hangman, Pisces. All right, about here, little guys. All right. So, water, because I can feel throat getting scratchy. So what has got you? Why are you? I swear it feels like you're just, maybe it's, the upcoming months you're optimistic, but there's a feeling of optimism here. And are you standing your ground? Is that what's going on? Things change? Is there a new condition, new situation, set of circumstances here? What is it? Okay, what's this 10 of Pentacles about? We got 2, 3. Okay. Oopsie. Hello. Page of Swords. Okay. So that jumped. Page of Swords reversed. 10 of Pentacles. So are we just like, freedom? Or what is that? It feels like there's someone going against convention. Like, you know what? I'm going rogue. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing this. But what is it? What's this 10 of Pentacles? The Devil. Could be Capricorn. What's this wheel about? 7 of Wands. Twice. Good. 5 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands. What's this 7 of Wands? Pardon me. What's this 7 for Scorpio? 6 of Swords. Wow. All right. Priestess. So we've got your person not wanting to, but this isn't this. Is this somebody you've been with for a while? Like, what is define a while? Well, you got 3 major arcana here, so this is pretty heavy duty, but it doesn't have to be the person that you've been with for a while. It could be the lesson. Interested in this, though. This High Priestess. 2 of Cups. All right. Hangman. Page. There's that Page of Swords. All right. You're not going to like it, because this is you. I think this is you accepting that what it is. I think there's been a shift in that you come to terms with the dynamics of a situation. But it feels like this is somebody that you've had a history with, that there's been this sort of attachment to the security that it would provide, knowing that it might not be the best for you. And it's put you in a position of needing something that you can't have, which is like, is not fun for anybody, because someone can't do what needs to be done. And the difference between where you were 3 to 6 months ago versus now is that you understand the dynamic, and you now understand that, I wrapped a lot of hopes and securities because I have such a strong connection with this person. I made that connection into all these other things, and I see that now. I see that it might not apply, that just because we have a really intense psychic connection or even a physical connection does not mean that they're going to be a great partner or a reliable business partner or a good provider or a whatever, or a good, homemaker, whatever it is. This is you understanding that just because there's this, it doesn't translate to the whole. So the difference now is that you're clear on that. Whereas before, I think you were wrestling with it, you were frustrated, you were going back and forth, you were waiting, you're this and that. You're not, you're clear on it. What I don't like is that your person still has some kind of hold on you, or they're kind of reaching out and wanting to negotiate, but you're not having it. And I think they might have just reached out recently, and I think that has kind of brought everything full circle to where you see it and you're just like, oh, I'm free. Because I understand now that we used to do this dance. You used to reach out, and then I'd be like, well, just do this, just handle it this way. And they'd be like, okay. And it wasn't that they would do it, it was that they still had your attention. That's what it wasn't about, what do I do? They didn't intend on doing anything. What they wanted was your attention again. They wanted you to get back in the box. And so you did, and you waited and nothing happened, but at least you were waiting. You weren't out here free and about. You know what I mean? Now you're free and about, and you've had enough distance from this to look back on the dynamic of it and to understand it. So this, as far as this closer look, this is about this really impactful relationship that you ended and walked away from. But this is the culmination of that. For the Scorpios that I'm reading for, you are dating and you are involved with someone else, or you're moving towards someone else. But this closer look is about that one person that kept making promises that never came to fruition. And it was because they were not willing to do what it took to make the changes to meet you, to be with you, to progress with you. They promised a lot. They delivered on very little. And I don't know that they ever intended to. I think it was about kind of keeping you in position, but not necessarily moving forward with you. And I think the difference and the shift now, and why you're at where you're at and you're dating and you're meeting someone, is because you understand where you sacrificed, how you had everything kind of wrapped up in this connection, that kind of all it was just a really great, physical or psychic connection, but not much else. And this person kind of capitalized on that because the situation they were in was no great shakes. And you were like a welcome reprieve and an escape. And in another life, that whole saying, in another life we could be together. Well, that doesn't do me much good in this one, does it? So this is you understanding that situation and understanding that, you know what, I want differently, but I know why I made the decisions I made. I understand it now. I'm not judging myself. I'm not mad at myself. I'm not frustrated. Why? Because you got yourself out of it and you moved on. You do have other, and this is, you do have other, you're up and about and moving and dating, and your person knows it and they're not happy about it. And it's none of their darn business, if I'm being so bold. But they insist on torturing themselves and watching you and following you on social media and whatever. And they see, for the Scorpios I'm reading for, you're very happy. This is very private. You're not sharing this with the people you're dating. But this is you finally coming, you've gotten enough distance from this situation that you come full circle and you see it for what it is. And you're like, I'm not putting myself in that situation again. I'm much stronger than I was when I was there. Things are back in balance for me. I am back in control. I'm not doing this again. And so this is you coming full circle and like, okay, I got this, while you're dating. And your person, like I said, insists on torturing themselves and is watching you date and is like, oh, I just miss you. Or, they might do that whole petty passive aggressive thing where they, on your Insta or whatever else and making little snide comments or whatnot. And it's like, just, don't be that person. Don't do that. We're not in middle school. We're not mean. Don't be that. And you might end up being like, you know what? If you're going to be that way, I can't even talk to you. Like I have to block you from socials if you're going to be that way. Like I'm giving you kind of this, maybe to redeem yourself or just trying to be the bigger person, keep things civil. But if you're going to do that, I'm going to have to block you from everything. Like I'm already not seeing you. We're already not together, trying to be civil. But if you're going to do that, like really? So it's almost like this could very easily turn into someone that's just kind of annoying and not going away and being petty because I can't believe you're dating now. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Look at this. Everybody wants to date this. Why would I not be out? You know what I mean? But they don't get to have what they couldn't keep or what they couldn't pursue. They don't have any rights to that. And I feel like they know that. They're just being like, they're just being kind of petty or childish about it. Just saying. And it might be that you have to cut things off altogether because of the weight of this. And it's just like, no. So, you're dating and you're free from this, but this is just kind of wrapping that up because you've come full circle. You understand the dynamic and you don't ever want to be in that position where you're one down and you're waiting and you've got all your eggs in one basket. But you've got a lot going. You're working and dating, and you got a lot going on. I think there's a much more measured approach to what you're doing, which is preferable because it feels like before you were exclusively waiting for this, like that was all consuming. It's all you thought about. This is much more balanced now, and I don't think you have any interest in ever having someone capture your attention like that again, or at least not for a while. You don't want to go through that again, especially when you didn't get it back. This would have been off the charts if the person reciprocated. Oh goodness, like this would have been one for the books. But they just didn't recognize what they had in front of them. and they're not willing to let go of something else. So they'd rather sit and cry and say silly things on your socials than to actually do what needs to be done to be able to be with you. And that's the reality of it. And that's what you've come full circle with and understand. And it's kind of emboldened you and made you see it for what it is. I think for some of you, the door isn't closed, but it's not going to open for miss you on social media. It's not going to open for little piddly messages or little while they're still in their same situation. You're not going to open that door. So, but you're happily dating. You're in a good place. You're working hard. That's going to pay off. I know that's a long way away. It's like 5 months away, but this looks to be a really good month as far as money, career. I don't know why, but you're not. It doesn't look like you're going to get serious with anybody anytime soon, and I think that's preferable. I think you're wanting to focus on work and just your social, your friends, all that, but I think you're still kind of putting the pieces together with this, and you're not wanting anything too heavy. You've come out of this seeing things pretty darn clear, and you're not really interested in kind of going to the depths with anybody else, especially when this kind of connection right here is still something that you are like, you know what, nobody's gotten to me like that in a long time, and I don't want to give anybody the chance to do that again. I just want to keep things light. I want to have fun. I want to go places. I want to do stuff. I want to see people. So all good things. This is you taking back control and taking back the power in your life. So nothing wrong with that. In a very secure position, might I add. Yeah, August is a good money month. House for Scorpio. Gracious. When the loving is good. Okay, so this is the devil. That could be Capricorn. Could be Capricorn. This is you getting vertical on whatever had that hold on you. This is getting out from under. This is confronting that. This is understanding the dynamic and realizing that it was you putting yourself in that position, you waiting, you compromising what you wanted in service of and in the name of love for someone. So it wasn't that this person was doing it to you. It was that you put yourself in that position. No shame, not shading here. Simply that in the name of love and loyalty, you made concessions for someone and they let you down. And so this is, I hate that this has a connotation of like, you're holding yourself back. Who doesn't do that? Everybody goes, it's not that. What this is realizing this person didn't have any power over you. You get to get up and walk away anytime you choose, and you did. And this is you confronting that. You realizing that, you know what, I'm still waiting around for this person and they're not delivering. I'm the one putting myself through this. And just so you know, you kind of didn't have a chance. Because this is someone that this is how they do in relationships. They're not happy where they're at, but they're staying. You weren't happy with where you were at, but you left. There's a difference. So you're seeing it for what it is, and you're on your way. And this is where you're at now. Good for you. It's kind of I like the duality here because it's almost like, you can be right here where you're kind of accepting and moving through life and making good choices and fortifying yourself. But this will come out, this sort of ferociousness and this ferocity, same thing, when it needs to. Like there's just this, it's like you can't go through something like this and not know what you're made of afterwards. And this is the balance of that. This is seeing things clearly and moving with the duality of that need and desire, but the measured control and having the patience to wait for when it's right, and not letting this take over anymore to where you're caught up in something like this, to where you think that you can't do it for yourself or that this person has, no, you're providing it for yourself now. You're back out in the world exploring, looking for what you want, finding this, discovering that, moving. This person is still stuck and still, sending little missives here and there and little communications and little messages, and just because that's the only thing they can do right now. That's not enough. And the fact that it still is like this after all that, it's like it was never going to be anything more than that. Is that what this is? It was never going to be anything more than that? That's not a good look. That's not a good look. Else for Scorpio. So I hate to bring this back up again, but it's what's showing here. But there's also the flip side of it, that you're in a very good place. Security is, you're creating your own security. This is a good money month. You come full circle, and this is you integrating that and understanding why. and standing your ground and being at peace with it. Understanding now, oh, okay, it was never really about them. It was about me staying when I shouldn't have, or when it would have been better for me to just walk away instead of wasting time and all of that. Now, nobody can make you happy or unhappy, all that, but they can greatly influence it. Depending on what they mean in your life, they can have great influence over your happiness. So it's not that it's not like, well, you're responsible and you made yourself, okay, fine. But this person also contributed greatly to that unhappiness and sadness. Like there was a lot of frustration here. And it's not just because you were staying in a situation, overstaying, in a situation. It was someone let you down, let's be honest. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because that's what's taking precedent here. You're not, like I said, you're not getting too deeply involved with anybody for a while. You're letting this kind of solidify, and you're wanting, this is, we got strength and we got the devil here. This is you wanting to be in direct opposition of that you are. This is you having come through that. Seeing it for what it is, the ending, and this is where you are now. This is where you have been. You don't want to go back to that. So you're going to give this a little time to sink in and kind of get some legs and some roots and all that, and because this is still kind of fresh. So still needing to have that pass through and move with this just be this for a while. Be secure, stable, largely under yourself, doing your own thing, dating, socializing, checking out your options. But there's a transformation going on behind the scenes that you're still kind of moving through. All right, what else for? Oh, okay. Oh, take it. Yay, wealth. Good for you. Yes. I'm gonna put that over here. You can sit next to me. Okay, I like that. I like it. And okay, and I like that, you know why? Because I think with this, whatever's moving through, whatever you're working out and you're passing through and you're moving on from, you're moving forward from, I think you had all of this, like security, stability, all of that tied up in the image of what that relationship represented or what that person meant to you, or just everything was focused on that person being able to be that for you, provide that for you, all of that. And you've taken your power back, and you see now that you can create that for yourself with a little help from the universe, right? Because forget about it. But I'm very glad this showed up because it's very affirming. Coming from this, moving from this, and this is where you are now. Very good place. Very solid. Look at that. This fell out. This keeps getting better and better. That could be Virgo. Like that. Hangman. Letting go. Cutting off communication, especially if they're sending those silly messages. Okay, let's Scorpio. Six of Cups reversed. Yeah, cutting things off because you get it now. Yeah. Okay, so this is not staying attached to those memories. You're letting those memories go. You're letting the attachment go. There's going to be no fresh start. The thing is also too, this could represent your past connection to that person and it taking a turn for not the worse so much, but just not growing. It's stagnant. Nothing has changed about this situation. So here you are moving on, dating, coming into some money, some stability, some prosperity, exploring your options with work, dating, all of that, a good upswing. And there's nothing, things are kind of stagnant in your past. As you distance yourself from that, you see that has still very much stayed the same. That person or that situation there's been nothing changed about that. And here you are moving on. So I'm very glad that you have moved on because you still would have been here. Just saying. Okay. All right. Thank you for stopping by, Scorpio. I'm glad for this. I'm glad that you are on your upswing now. I hope to see you in the next reading. Good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. And you take care. Much love and support to you this. All right. Hope to see you in the next reading. Thanks for stopping by.